This video is sponsored by Utopia Toys and Models. Use my reviewer code to get 20% off your next purchase at utopiatoysandmodels.com. As we near the end of the anime run of My Hero Academia, I've got a figure for us to review. Let's take a look at the total anime Tomura Shigaraki, and let's see if this figure is full of decay. Let's do it. What is happening, folks? It is Jimmy G in the place to be, bringing you back to another episode of The Good, the Bad, the Awesome, where I unbox and give you my first reaction to all things pop culture. So, if you like that kind of stuff, hit that like, subscribe, and get notified when we have new videos. And if you're doing that, thank you so very much. And today we have in front of you the My Hero Academia Tomura Shigaraki from Total Anime, which is a subdivision of Jazzwares, and as y'all know, they are budget figures. They're budget figures that come with a lot of accessories, and for those that are looking for great anime figures at a fraction of the price of like Figure Arts, this is the way to go. So I'm excited about this because My Hero Academia is nearing the end, and each episode in this final season has been peak, and I have just been loving it. And we are at the place where it's Itadori versus Shigaraki. It's mano a mano. It's all for one and one for all. So it's going to be awesome. But here is the figure, and I picked this up. Believe it or not, I did not find this at. Like Walmart or Amazon, where right now they're selling for like $20. I found it at Ross Dress for Less for $12.99, my friends. So go check your Rosses. I'm looking for Midoriya, Dabi, and Asta. I've already did the review on Sukuna, so you can check that one out. But I am so glad I found this. We went to Ross to look for all sorts of cool stuff during their RossCon, is like what I like to call it. But this is what I found, and so I'm excited to review this for y'all. But here's the front of the box. Look at all the stuff you get. The side of the box, the back of the box with the figure in all of its posing glory, and the side of the box, the bottom of the box, and then you cut a hole in the box and you put your, well, let's just not go there. Let's just go ahead and open the box and get it out of the box. Out of the box, onto my table is Shigaraki in his almost final form as we're getting ready to fight Itadori and try to take one for all away from him. So here it is. Here's all the stuff you get, and first impressions out of the box. Again, they are just really kind of just fun action figures. They're not necessarily like your premium ones. Now there's two budget lines. There's Total Anime, and then there's Anime Heroes, which is Bandai's line. Total Anime gives you more accessories for the buck, and then Anime Heroes maybe just a little bit more premium in terms of articulation and some paint apps, but other than that, Total Anime pretty much is the most bang for your buck on that. But here we have him, and from a height standpoint, when we look, let me go ahead and pop this camera up just a hair. We have him at about almost 6 inches, which gives us, in the metric system, almost 15 centimeters tall on that. And what you get in the box is, first of all, you get these faces. So you get this kind of straight face right there, really, really nice. Then the next face you get is this face right here, kind of the evil face. You also get this hand with almost like that Black Whip looking weird kind of decay kind of thing there. You also get this hand that has a hole in it to be able to hold the effect that you get right here. So nice little effect right there. And then you get this hand that has just basically it's to be able to put on, well, this it's just another hand. So there we are, and then you get the figure itself. So let's bring him in for a closer look. Let's do this. Let me get me some. Let's get some illumination on here, a little bit brighter. And so there we have him. And so really nice looking figure so far. I like how gnarly the arm looks. Paint app looks like it's just a little bit rough, but I mean, it works because that's who he is on that. So, but nice outfit here. The back, the cape is really nice. It'd been cool if the cape was kind of cloth, so you can mold it however you want to. But I know how this is probably going to hinder some posing and stuff like that, because you're going to have to move it out of the way. You also kind of there. Let's do this. Let me pull the head off, because you can pop the head off. We'll pop that out, and then there is kind of the back right there. So that's how that figure kind of looks right there. Just that rotisserie view, which I haven't done in a while, is how he looks. I'm going to just keep that cape off for right now so we can get into some articulation with the cape off and things like that too. So there he is, folks. That is him in a nutshell. This is me in a nutshell. Help, I'm in a nutshell. And so we do have, from an articulation standpoint, head bobs, up and down, all that good stuff. Arm, you do get the swivel. It does pop up. It's just a little bit tight. You do have the bicep swivel. You do have the 90-degree bend on the elbow. So there we go. Let's get that. Do we have like a butterfly joint? No butterfly. Really, you got an upper ab crunch that does move. Lower ab crunch does move. You do have the legs. Can almost Jean-Claude them. And they can, because you get this hip drop right there, which is really great for a budget figure. That you get that. You do have a little bit of a twist, not much. The knee is a double jointed knee, so you can get that really nice pose. And then you do have the ankle swivel, and I guess it's a boot swivel, not necessarily a thigh swivel, and then you get this right here, the ankle does swivel. The one thing that I do knock these figures for is they're tight in some places and very loose in others, and they're just, the ankles aren't the strongest things in the world on here. Now, to replace the face and stuff like that, you have this part of the hair comes off, so you go like that. It's really soft. There we go. You just pop the face off, put the new face on, and then pop that hair back in. Now, I had some issues with Sukuna's hair that kept falling off, so hopefully that softer hair does make it a little bit maybe nicer and easier to do. Hands just pop off really easily. I do like it because the joint is here and not on the wrist itself. So really, really nice, really good. Let's do this. Let me pop his head back off and get his cape back on, because we don't need to go through that articulation anymore. Pop this head. Boom. There we are. Now he's in full on evil mode. Now, one thing that Total Anime used to do is they used to include stands. Now they don't anymore. You still got the pegs there for your own stands, but you don't get a stand anymore with this. But let's do this. Let me grab some figures and we'll kind of compare them to a few other brands. All right, folks, here we have a few other figures to compare him to. First of all, we're going to compare him to Anime Heroes All Might. And Shigaraki's like, I can't deal with All Might. I got to fall. Let me see if I can get him standing. Again, these things do kind of like to mess with me with their standing abilities. But there he is next to an All Might there. Here we go. We got another Total Anime figure here in Bakugo. Right there. We have an SHFiguarts Izuku Midoriya and Deku. I think those go well together right there. Figure Arts and the Total Anime figure. I even think the Anime Heroes All Might is kind of good. I think he should be a little bit taller. But let's bring in, just for giggles, let's bring in Marvel Legends Maximum Hulk right there, so you can kind of see that. And then let's do a McFarlane. We'll do this. This is the McFarlane Elite T60 Power Armor right there. And so there we have him compared to other characters. So let's do this. I am going to play with him, get him in some poses, and play with some of the accessories, and give you some of my final thoughts after I've had a few minutes with Tomura Shigaraki. So Jimmy in the chair, I turn it back over to you. Back for my final thoughts on Tomura Shigaraki, and let's bring him in. So there he is, probably the pose that I'm gonna keep him in for a little bit until I get the SHFiguarts Tomura on that, because I am a figure arts fan. I'm a collector, not really a fiddler of the toys. So these budget figures, though, they're great. I love them. I love them. I love them. They come with a lot of accessories. That's the pros on this thing. Tons of accessories, tons of playability. I mean, if you're on a budget and you love My Hero Academia or any other anime, Total Anime figures are going to be great because you get a really good representation of the character. Now, is it premium? Is it premium like the SHFiguarts? No, not at all. Difference between a $15 figure, $20 figure, and a $90 figure, right? But for what you pay for, I think you can really create some really cool stuff, especially if you're really good at photography, which I am not, or if you're very good at like camera videography and things like that, or you're just a big fan. The cons on this, there's just some slight paint defects on this guy, and then of course the looseness of the legs a little bit just kind of make it a little bit tough to pose him in different poses and things like that. But other than that, this thing on a scale of good, bad, awesome, I would say this one is a pretty awesome. This is probably one of the better Total Anime figures that I have reviewed in a while. It just seems to kind of hold together a little bit better. I like the accessories that it comes with. It's just an overall really good figure. So Total Anime, kudos to you all. And so I can't wait to get Dabi, and I can't wait to get Asta, because I love a Black Clover figure and I can't wait to review that one. So that's all I gotta say about him. So if you like this video, man, or if you're looking for where you can buy him, Amazon, Walmart, places like that, or if you have a Ross Dress for Less near you, maybe go check it out, because you can pick this up for about 13 bucks there. So if you like this video, consider liking, subscribing, or maybe becoming a member and financially supporting this channel. But just like it, that's all I ask. But tune in next time when we do talk about something else, good, bad, or awesome. But in the meantime, y'all remember to stay young, have fun, and be awesome. Time to go watch another episode of the new season and play with my toys as I'm doing that. Recreate some battles. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye now.